Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Brunel Business School to this information session for the Brunel MBA. I'm Dr. Bidit Day, Director of the MBA Programme, and I will be talking for the next 15 minutes about the structure and content of the Brunel MBA, including the teaching timetable. I'll then move on to talk about our requirements for those who haven't applied yet in particular, and about our available MBA scholarships for September 2018 and January 2019. So if you all are ready, I may continue with the presentation. We move on to the first slide. And there you can see we have highlighted the key reasons for doing an MBA. You always remember that there is a difference between doing an MBA, having an MBA, and being an MBA. At Brunel Business School, with the Brunel MBA program, we seek to achieve the last part of it. We want to make you the MBA so that you can have all the qualities and skills required to excel your career, which will not only enable you to progress in your professional career, but also will make you a different human being altogether. So the Brunel MBA is all about aiming to achieve that transformation of your own self to make you a complete different person by the completion of the program. And that will develop your leadership skill, will enhance your current skills, will augment those further, will make you a better problem solver, and also will give you a better and deeper insight into the organizational practices. We also have a very international program indeed, both in terms of the quality and its content. We have achieved the international standards. The program is also, in terms of its cohort composition and the tutors who are teaching on the program, very international, and also we have a significant number of international students on the program. Nevertheless, if you are doing part-time program and if you are a British citizen, then you can also apply for government loan up to £10,609. And we also have generous scholarships on this program, which we will talk about very shortly. Moving on. One of the key characteristics of the Brunel MBA program is that it is accredited by the Association of MBAs, which is a prestigious accreditation bodies, and only 35 business schools in the UK are accredited by the AMBA. And also we are accredited by AACSB, which stands for Association of Advanced College of School of Business. And that is again another prestigious accreditation body. Together with AMBA and AACSB, Brunel Business School remains in the very prestigious League of Schools in the UK, which only includes 25 institutions across the country. We also have been ranked by the Financial Times for our MSc program, and also we have got a number of recognitions over the years in the country and across the continent. So why do you want to come to Brunel Business School? One major reason that we have found from our research over the years that the unique location that the university has attracted students in a great extent. Because we are close to London, we're actually on the outskirts of London, but we are not in the madness of central London, if you know what I mean. It is only 30-minute public transport, or a tube that we call in the UK. The underground service will take you to central London. But at the same time, it is located in a cul-de-sac area, which provides the best and the most conducive environment for study. At the same time, we are close to Heathrow, and we are close to some of the key business establishments of Heathrow and some of the major multinational companies with likes of Hutchinson 3G, Vodafone, Reckitt Benckiser. They're all within 20 to 30 miles from our school location. So that again makes us very unique in terms of our exposure and our access to established businesses. And also we have scholarships, as I mentioned earlier. I will explain how the scholarship schemes work out to you later on. We also have optional overseas industry visit. You will be glad to know that from February 2019, we will have a yearly visit to Milan, where our MBA students and MBA tutors will have the opportunity to meet some of the leading businesses like Prada, like IBM, and also will meet our university partners in Milan. We also have strong links with employers, and that has been a unique feature of the school and the MBA program. We have guest speakers and industry visits arranged time to time, which keep us engaged with the movers and shakers in the industry. As I mentioned earlier, guest speakers are constitute a key part of our MBA lectures, and we have almost all modules with guest lecture opportunities, and students get to see and listen to some of the leading personnel in the industry. So, moving on and continuing with the features of the Brunel Business School and the Brunel MBA in particular, we have a very dedicated zone, a dedicated suite for the MBA program, with students having 24/7 access to the MBA suite. There is facilities like study room, drinks like coffee and tea, and also state of the art classroom facilities. So you will enjoy being as part of the program, and also it makes you feel like being an exclusive body of the school, which is again the head and shoulder of the school's degree programs. So the full-time MBA program is for 1 year, and part-time MBA program is for 2 years. Perhaps you already know about it. And we have two intakes. One starts in September, the other starts in January. And we have got three major pathways. One is the general pathway, which is the Brunel MBA, is designated as the Brunel MBA pathway. Then we have MBA with healthcare management, and also we have MBA with aviation management. And I can tell you is that the two other pathways, healthcare and aviation, are very rare and unique features of this MBA program, and very few universities across the country do have similar provisions. So, as part of the MBA program, you will be doing six. I beg your pardon, there is some noise. You will be doing six core modules, and you will be doing a dissertation. At the same time, you will be doing two chosen modules from your pathways. So if you are doing general management pathway, operations management is a core module for you. That's why on the screen it shows 7 instead of 6, as I've said. But if you are doing healthcare or aviation, then you have the provision not to choose operations management, and you can choose two modules from your chosen area. Nevertheless, you still will be doing the 6 other core modules across the board, and all the students will be required to complete these modules. These are business economics, corporate and business finance, strategic marketing management, leading people and managing organizations, corporate and competitive strategy, and international business. Now, also the module of the MBA program overall has 10 LMS sessions. What we mean by LMS is Leadership Masterclass Series, which relate to some of the transferable skills that you will be applying during your MBA program and beyond. For instance, the basic communication skills like study skills, writing skills that will enable you to up your game while doing your MBA. You will be able to improve on your written, writing, and reading skills, which will enable you to get better grades on your modules. At the same time, we also have the provision for the likes of consulting skills, analytical skills, and team challenge skills, which you can take beyond the MBA program, and you will be able to apply them in your day-to-day work life. So these 10 LMSs again constitute a significant and unique features of our MBA program. Additionally, you will have 7 sessions of career development program CDP, each consisting of 2 hours. So you'll be doing 14 hours of career development program throughout the tenure of the MBA program. Nevertheless, these also will have opportunities. For instance, time to time, the CDP sessions involve guest speakers, human resource specialists who visit the campus and provide the students with more insights and deeper insights into the practical affairs of career development in the industry. Now, I also would like to mention that all these modules are very unique in terms of their content. Because we are accredited by the Association of MBAs, we have to provide certain number of contact hours on the MBA program, unlike a non-accredited business school who may not have that kind of requirement or obligation. Each module may comprise of between 46 to 60 hours of contact of classroom contacts. Nevertheless, we also have part of the lectures delivered online. So essentially, you will still have up to 60 hours of contact against each modules, but that doesn't mean that you will have to be present all the days that you will be doing the lectures or attending the lectures. Now, moving on, if we go to the next slide. Yeah, right, okay. Okay. Also, as part of aviation and healthcare management program, you will have 2 additional modules, which understandably relate to aviation and healthcare management respectively. Nevertheless, when it comes to LMS and CPD, all students across the board will be doing the same sessions. You can see this, the fees of the program is now on the screen, and for both full-time and part-time, the fees would be £22,000 for the academic year 2018-19, and for full-time students, we have scholarships up to £6,500 tuition fee waiver, which would make you to pay £15,500 for 1 year. For part-time students, we have got 2 different schemes. One is for the private sector and the other one is for public sector. For private sector employees, we offer scholarship in the form of tuition fee discount up to £9,000, and for public sector employees, it will amount to £11,000. And of course, you can do your maths and you can find out that the private sector private sector employees will have to pay £13,000, while the public sector employees will have to pay £11,000 should their scholarship applications be approved. Entry criteria, that is the general entry criteria. Again, I would refer you back to my initial point, because we are accredited by the Association of MBAs. We strictly follow their requirements, and that actually require us to maintain very rigid and very strict policy on the entry criteria. We require 2.1 or 2.2 UK equivalent honors degree, be it from the UK university or abroad. We require candidates to have 2.1. If a candidate has got 2.2, they have to have minimum of 5 years of experience. If a candidate has got 2.1, 3-year experience should suffice. English language proficiency, if the candidates candidates are not native English speakers or their first language is not English, we require them to have 6.5 in IELTS minimum, or equivalent scores in other recognized English language tests like TOEFL. And also, all candidates are needed to be interviewed by the MBA program team. That can be done by either by Skype or by phone. For local candidates, we are also available to meet them in person if they seek to do so. So, with regards to your MBA application process, we advise you to put your application through as soon as possible, because if you're not applying, then we wouldn't have a clearer picture of your profile. Because when we assess an application, we not only look at those major criteria, but also we go through the statement of purpose, we look at the CV, and also we look at other necessary documents such as your transcript. So even if you haven't had achieved, for instance, 5-year work experience for 2 degree, we can have a look at your profile and we can make a decision whether or not you can be provided with an option or an opportunity. So that's why we always advise our candidates to put their applications through in the first place so that we can make an assessment, and then only it is easier for us to, and it is more appropriate for us to provide you with a decision. So the September intake scholarship applications are to be made by 24th of August. If you haven't applied for scholarships yet, please please don't make any further delay. And it is awarded on competitive basis, and I can tell you we have got quite a few applications. We have already started awarding the students because, particularly the overseas students, as they have to apply for the visa. So please, if you haven't applied yet, make sure that you do it as soon as possible. And we are also inviting scholarships and application for January intake. However, we cannot guarantee any scholarship for the January at this point in time, because if we run out of them by September, unfortunately, we wouldn't have any more left for January. So now, the very important point, I understand many of you have assembled today to know a bit more about the timetable. We are currently working on the timetable, and what I'm going to show you is a provisional one, and that may be subject to change. Now, if you look at the term one, so if you start in September, it will be your first term, and you will have to do, at least if you're doing full time, you'll be doing 4 modules. If you're doing part time, we want you to do at least 2 modules in your term 1. Normally, for the part time students, what we have seen and what we normally suggest is to do the weekend lectures and the evening lectures. So you see that we have lectures on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The Friday lectures are associated with the Saturday module, so don't worry too much about it. We are trying to streamline that module, and those Friday lectures may not be there in September. I cannot guarantee you right now, but we are trying to reduce the number of days, and that's what we are currently working on. Having said that, even if those are there, you still have to do Saturdays, and there will be 8 Saturdays and 11 Thursday evenings. So if you do them in your first term, in your first year, and if you're doing part-time, you come back into 2019 September, when you will be in your second year, and our timetable is absolutely identical. So we will be doing the same modules on the same days in your second year as well. So then you will be required to do all the Wednesday modules. So if you take off from your work to do morning and afternoon and evening, and you will only need to come once a week. So that is the general practice that we suggest. However, we understand that students have their own obligations and their own priorities. Sometimes some students prefer not to engage their Saturdays in their first year, maybe because of family or work commitments. So they choose to do Wednesday modules to start with, and when they come back in their second year, they do Thursday evening and Saturday morning. Now, if you are doing full time, then you have to do actually all these days. I'm afraid you do not have much options, right? So, but if you still have a look at the overall timetable, Tuesday and Wednesday and Mondays, you just need to come 4 Mondays to do your business project lectures, and you have to come 10 Tuesdays. So still, it's not too bad considering the fact that you will have most of your Mondays free, and also you have some of your Tuesdays free. But the rest of the days you will have to be engaged with the programs. Moving on, for your second term, Now, here you have plenty of flexibilities because not all students will be doing all the pathways. If you look Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, these are allocated for particular pathway modules. So if you're doing part-time, again, you can choose your Saturday, which is a core module, business finance, and you can do one of the week evenings, which is Tuesday evening, the core module, business economics. So that will mean that in your second year, second term, you will only be doing one of the days relevant to your chosen pathway. Again, you will have to do some of the LMSs and business project portfolios on Monday or Tuesday. Now, if I flick back to the previous slide, if you look at the Tuesday LMSs, LMS time management, LMS study skills, LMS writing skills, and CDP 1 and 2, you can see them repeated in the second term, on the second term. So here we can see that the four LMSs that will be on offer for term one will again be repeated on term two, and at the same time the CDP 1 and 2 will be repeated. So what we suggest to our part-time students is that you should not be taking too many LMSs in your first year. If you just take one at a time, essentially you will have 4 semesters, 4 full semesters, and 2 term 3, which is a short semester. So over the 4 terms, you will be taking one at a time, and that will take you through the 4 basic LMSs. So if you take one in term one, one in term two, and continue to have in this way, by the year 2020, second term, you will be done with those 4 LMSs. Same is applicable for CDP 1 and 2. However, for the full timers, we recommend them to go ahead with all the LMSs on offer. So that will be a huge relief for you in your second term when you're supposed to start working on your dissertation. Then you don't have to do those Monday evenings. So again, that is going to be a bit more relieving and flexible for you. Um, Business project, the 16 hours, 4 lectures, each comprising of 4 hours, work in the same way. These are the repetition in term two from term one. So if you have done Monday evenings in your term one, then you do not have to do them in your term two. Uh, Again, for full-time students, we strongly recommend them to do it in term one because your supervisors will be allocated after the completion of the 16 hours. However, for part-timers, they can wait till term two, and if they are too committed in their term one, they can do them in term two. So that is more or less what we are discussing today. We also have a term three, which is a short term for 5 weeks. And again, for full-time students, they have to do all the LMSs offered in term three. But part-time students, they can select their options and they can do only few in their year one and can do the remaining in year two. So that is more or less what we have got today. You have got a provision to type your queries